Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share this quick local pepper stew recipe that you are absolutely going to love. For this you're going to need red bell peppers, onion and scotch bonnet pepper. You will need cow tripe, beef or any red meat of your choice. You'll need cow skin, catfish, crayfish, palm oil, locust beans, some seasoning cubes and salt. So first I'll chop up one onion. I'll use some of it to cook the meat while I fry the rest in the palm oil, which I'll show you later. So then I'll add the washed meat to a pot, add one seasoning cube, salt and some onion, cover it and let it sweat for like 5 minutes before I come back and add water for it to cook completely. Five minutes later, you can see all the juice that came out of the beef on its own. So at this point, I'm going to add a little amount of water, cover it and let it cook completely. So while that is cooking, I'll go ahead and prep the rest of the ingredients. So first I'm going to chop up some of the cow skin. I did not chop up everything. I left some of them whole. I'm chopping up this one so we have some obstacles going on in the stew. Yeah. So I'm going to chop them up and set that aside. So next I'll go ahead and prep the bell peppers. I'll take out the seed from it and then blend it together with the remaining onions. Remember I showed you 2 onions earlier. I have chopped one up. I'll blend the remaining one with the bell pepper and scotch bonnet peppers. So now that I've chopped everything up, I'll pop them into the blender and blend. I added a little bit of water to turn the blade. And when blending, you don't want to blend this smooth. You want it to be still rough in texture after blending. I'll show you what you should be aiming for. This is how you want it to look like. You can still see tiny specks of pepper in there. Yeah, just roughly blend it. That's it. So next I'll soak the fish with hot water for about 2 minutes, just to soften it up a little bit. Then I'll add cold water after 2 minutes to bring it to a tolerable state so you don't burn your hands. Then I go in with a sponge that looks like this and then just scrub the back, the front and everywhere and then debone it. So at this point the beef is cooked. I'm going to take it out from the stock and save the stock because we're going to need it later. So we're going to start putting everything together now. I'm going to add the palm oil to a pot. Once it heats up, we're not going to bleach it. Once it heats up, fry the meat. I'm just frying it for less than 5 minutes just to give it a bit of texture. Yeah, so I fry the beef and the cow tripe for about 5 minutes, and once it gets that texture, I'll scoop it out. So 5 minutes later, the beef have that texture to it now. I'm going to scoop it out and then we start cooking proper. See, at this point, it took everything in me for me not to finish that meat. That beef was so flavorful. So moving on, I added the onion. I lost that clip, but all I did was add the chopped onion that I saved up earlier. Then I'll add the locust beans and fry it for about a minute until it becomes fragrant. Next, I'll add the blended peppers, stir to combine, and then I'll cover it halfway through so it can simmer for the first 10 minutes undisturbed. Ten minutes into the cooking, add the crayfish, stir to combine again, and then let it fry for another 20-25 minutes or just until you see oil start to flow to the top of the pot. So this was about 30 minutes later and you can see the oil starting to flow to the top of the pot. So now I'm going to add all the proteins, that's the omo, both the chopped and the whole ones, the meat that I fried earlier, and just combine. I really hope you try out this recipe. See, not every time vegetable oil stew. Try out this recipe. I'm sure you will love it. Your taste buds will thank you for this local pepper stew recipe. Yes. So I'm going to combine thoroughly. Then I'll add some seasoning cubes. I'll add the fish as well. My fish was not tough, but if your fish is tough, you may want to add it when the stew was still frying. Yeah, but mine was not tough and it was in pieces as well. So I'm going to add some salt as well and then combine thoroughly before adding the meat stock. Yeah, that meat stock we saved earlier. This is the time to add it. So I needed to loosen up the stew a little bit. Yeah, so I added more water as well because the stock was not enough. So I added a little bit of water and then stir. So now that everything is properly combined, I'm going to let it simmer on very low heat for another 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, you see all the oil has floated to the top of the pot. And at this point, you know your stew is ready. Yes. If you want your stew lighter, go ahead and add more water or more stock. And yeah, our stew is ready. This can go well with rice. It can go well with even eba with small okra on the side, and you will love it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, share if this is your first time here. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.